hosted by me, Demi Burnett. You probably know me from my time on The Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise. Maybe you saw me on Ellen, or maybe you saw one of my videos and thought, hey, this girl is kind of cool, and I wonder what she's gonna do next. Well, you better buckle up because I don't know what I'm gonna do next either. I'm sober and I'm autistic, so that means that I'm tone deaf, and bitch, there is no tea that I won't spill. DemiGoddess is a podcast where I break down stereotypes and give you an endless stream of my searing hot takes. Celebrity drama? Got it. Sex toy guessing games? Did that. Dating bullshit? Oh, baby, you just wait. Plus, I chat with some amazing guests. Today, I'm talking to fellow Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise alum and successful real estate agent in like 7 other jobs, Tammy Kay Ly. Tammy and I were on the same season of Paradise, and boy, do we have some stories to tell and some very hot takes. DemiGoddess is available on all podcast platforms, or you can watch this full episode on our Eve YouTube channel. I really love watching it, guys. Seriously, check it out. So rate, review, and subscribe. It's time to start the show, and I'm here with my producer, Clementine, and things are about to get spicy. Hello, Clementine.
Hi, Demi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How was your weekend?
It was good. It was pretty chill. I just did research. You know me.
Yeah.
Imagine this. Imagine us in this excitement of making this podcast, right? Mm-hmm. We have so much to do. Everyone is working, like y'all are working constantly on our podcast. Ideas are flowing. We're so excited. We're talking about guests. We are talking about names. We're talking about everything. We are so excited. We're flowing. And then, you know, a question gets thrown in there. Hey, Demi, what about these podcasts? You want to be on these podcasts? And I just say, yeah, I'll be on any podcast. I don't care. I'm so excited about my podcast. I love it. I'll be on any podcast to like promote it and talk to people because I believe in this podcast and I love doing it so much. And I love Forever Dog because y'all have been the best team I've ever had. And y'all have accommodated to all of my needs. And this has been so amazing for everyone involved. So I will be proud to go anywhere, right? And the last motherfucking person on my motherfucking mind is Reality Steve. So Reality Steve, I tried to forget, tried to suppress what he had done. So I didn't even think of him in that moment as a person with a podcast because I tried to forget he existed. Mm-hmm. But thank you for reminding me and the rest of the world, Reality Steve, how you sexually harassed me. And now you're trying to mock me because my team made a mistake on accident, a little tiny silly mistake because we were just so excited to tell everyone we could about the podcast. And he's going to make me look stupid. So not only is he going to sexually harass me, he's going to continue to harass me.
The thing that bugs me about it also is that so many podcasts, so many people are reaching out to so many other people. And sometimes a representative reach out to someone else that their talent has beef with or whatever. And most people handle that stuff with grace and like a professional. And it's funny because he handled it so poorly and then made himself look bad by handling it poorly.
Yeah, because it's like, this isn't just like oh, I don't like you. This is like hey, dude, you told me you had a dream about having sex with me.
Ew.
About having sex with me and it being so fucking hot. Your words.
Ugh.
You disgust me. I did not see your fucking tweet for like 10 hours, bro. Someone had to call me and tell me because that is how little I think about you. I don't think about you.
Yeah.
So don't think that you can mock me. There's nothing to mock. It was a mistake and we're trying really hard. We're putting in effort.
Yeah.
So what's the joke, Steve? That you sexually harassed me and my team accidentally reached out to you and you reminded the world that you sexually harassed me? Is that the joke?
People in the comments were reminding him. God bless.
I actually don't think he knows what he did still. He doesn't understand that he's in a position of power. And the way that he's in a position of power is because he has information on contestants.
Yeah.
He has information on us that people send to him and he uses it.
He's a life ruiner.
Yeah.
He accused that girl of cheating and she had never done anything wrong.
Exactly. Someone tells me not to say anything. Okay, I won't say anything on Twitter. but I didn't say anything about my podcast. So that's why. Here I am.
Here we are.
But either way, the proof is in the pudding that Steve's got power over women, and that him telling me he had a sex dream about me is creepy and extremely inappropriate. And I don't know. What is it giving me? Like manipulation. Like, who the fuck do you think you are telling me that you had a sex dream about me? I don't give a fuck who you've dated. You've never dated me. So, and you do not have any reason to be telling me anything like that, because
such a power move, though, just to make you feel creeped out and like uncomfortable.
When I think of reality Steve, I think of lasagna. I think of like a spaghetti, carbonara. I think of Olive Garden.
I think of a dollar store Perez Hilton who's less intelligent and less funny.
Steve, you don't mean anything to me. You mean nothing to me. I forget you exist.
Yeah.
Next.
Shut
your fucking pie hole. That's enough pie for one day. You know what? Tammy. Okay, first of all, I'm so excited to have you here today, Tammy. I saw the craziest TikTok today about World War II and how it made that generation of people narcissists. Self-preservation was prioritized over empathy and compassion.
Wait, that makes a lot of sense.
It doesn't need to be anybody's fault. It just needs to be acknowledgement of everyone's part.
Right.
And it's like, you understand that when people are narcissistic and manipulative, it's because they are in survival mode. Mm-hmm. They're like, their adrenaline has kicked in. Fight, flight, freeze.
Right.
Which means they have to manipulate. They have to put themselves first. They have to for survival. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that made sense.
No, it does make sense. I mean, even we talked about this. I feel like I'm in constant fight or flight mode.
Constantly.
I have anxiety to a T, and it's like, it drives me nuts.
What do you feel like you're anxious about?
Everything. Am I doing good enough? I have like this standard for myself. It's never like met because I always increase my standard. It's just a lot.
And you feel like that pressure comes from like whenever you were younger? Do you feel like you set that standard? Like
100%. I could never please my parents. There was no way.
And I wonder if they're thinking that we're not meeting their standards, or if they're just thinking that they need to keep that standard on us because that's their job as a parent. Mm-hmm. What do you think it is?
I honestly have no idea. I wish I could figure it out because that would help with my child traumas. But I just know like growing up, my parents never said like, I'm proud of you, or like showed like, this is a good job that you're doing. So it's like, okay, this is never enough. I have to do more, which is probably why I have 6 jobs.
It is. It is definitely. I think it, I wonder if because we as millennials, like our generation, we got the internet, right? Mm-hmm. So we got like access to other ways of thinking than what we were raised with.
Right.
But your parents didn't. So they were raised a way up until their brains stopped developing. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they can get out of it. Like, that's what I wonder about my parents. That's what I wonder about. Why aren't they getting it? Why aren't they getting how they aren't loving us or telling us that they're proud of us, how that affects us, how they don't understand why we need that? Mm-hmm. And I think it's because they were told that they didn't need that. Mm-hmm. And they never saw other people getting that until it was too late. Their brains were already developed.
I think at this point, I've just accepted it, sadly.
Exactly how I am, yes.
Because, like, you just have to, you know?
You have to for the sake of self-preservation. Mm-hmm. It's because that adrenaline that we're feeling, that being in, like, fight or flight mode all the time, that is trauma. That's trauma. Oof. Every single time. That's traumatizing. So if I'm in fight or flight mode with my family, I'm sorry, I got to take a step back. Mm-hmm. And if that means being at home isolated by myself, that's where you will find me. That's where I will be.
Yeah. I feel like that's also at peace. I think the hardest parts for me are like holidays because your family has to get together. And I'm like, this is too much. Every time a holiday comes around, I'm so overwhelmed with like my family. And I'm like, I need to just go. So then I fly back to LA and sit in my room by myself.
Yeah, I've done that the past 2 years. I haven't gone home for the holidays. I've just stuck it out in LA. Mm. And I loved it just because I feel, I guess it's safe. I feel safe by myself. Like, yeah.
It's because no one can hurt you. You're just with yourself.
Literally.
Isn't that
it's like
so
it's a sensitive time of year and I need to be alone during it.
Yeah. But it also makes it really sad, you know? I've always dreamed of like being with people that I love and that I'm comfortable enough with to not give me that anxiety and to spend these special moments with, but I haven't found it.
Speaking of confusing behavior, we were just on a reality dating show. I kind of blocked it out.
Oh my God, I forgot we did that over the summer.
I always forget. I always forget that I did that.
I'm like, I spent a whole month with you.
Dude,
like,
we slept next to each other too. Guys, Tammy used to see me
naked, butt naked.
24/7.
I would look over, I would turn over, I'm like, ah!
And not only that, she would see me asleep on top of my covers, butt naked.
Yeah, because it was so hot.
And this, yeah, it was so hot out there. And with not moving, so my makeup would stay in place so I wouldn't have to do it the next day. It was still on because I was a drunk bastard.
I mean, your makeup looked fire. And I'm like, that actually makes a lot of sense, you know?
Do you want to know a secret?
Tell me.
Do you remember that time that you were in we were in the bathroom and you said, "Who's taking shots of the mouthwash?" It was me. I was drinking mouthwash.
Demi.
I know. It's like not
swallowing?
That yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I was like waking up in the morning and that's the thing about this is like, I was self-medicating. So, and I was so dependent on alcohol that I knew like, what am I going to do? Go to the hospital in Mexico? Like, I don't even have health insurance.
Right.
At that point, I didn't. I do now. But I was like, I don't know what to do. And I just feel sick. And I don't. And then I was like, one of my friends, you know who you are if you're listening. Her mom has a coworker who drinks mouthwash. And she always told me about it. And we were like, wow, I thought, wow, that's so insane. How do you ever get to that point? And there I was with a bottle of Listerine in my hand and like dead ass using it to not get sick.
In the middle of Mexico.
Yeah, but you were like, who's taking shots of mouthwash? Like just like joking like, around because that like literally I would make a joke like that. And then it's like, I was like, Tammy, listen, all right. I'm at a new rock bottom. I didn't foresee myself being here.
I wish you told me about that though, because
it's okay though, because I wouldn't have wanted to tell anyone.
I know.
And it was something that I was going through, and I felt I feel very detached from it as far as like, wow, I have had so many like revelations and struggles since that. It's okay. But anyway, we did Paradise together.
Yeah.
I was trying not to go into withdrawal. Jeez.
It's so screwed up.
I know it's so screwed up, but like I have to cope about it. Like I have to cope with it by laughing about it.
Yeah. Paradise was so fun. We had a blast.
Honestly, I had so much fun.
I'm so happy you were there because we
tell some stories.
We were just getting on each other's nerves, but like we do it in a way where it's like, I love you, but like F off. You're like, Tammy, shut up. And I go, okay. And I'm like, Demi, stop being like a pick-me girl. And you're like, okay.
I was like, what's a pick-me girl? And you told me and I was like, wow.
You're like, oh my God, that is me.
I am. Pick-me girl? Shit. Every time I hear that, it's like a trigger word. I'm like, every time I hear someone say pick-me girl, I'm like, all right, Demi, don't talk for an hour.
Oh, that's so terrible.
It's okay. I don't care. I'm not talking to anyone. No one's saying that around me. I'm not around anyone.
Your dog.
Sandor? I swear to God, I remember watching you and like just observing what you were going through. And I remember when the Aaron and Thomas stuff went down. And looking back on it, I feel like
Did you say a comment in one of your ITMs? I took no offense to it, but it was funny to see. You said Tammy just likes to have two boys fight over her.
Yeah, maybe I did.
Who doesn't? Am I right?
Exactly. That's the joke about like people do things for attention because it's like, yeah, everyone does. Literally everyone. I remember thinking about the Aaron and Thomas situation and making a lot of excuses for Aaron, but looking like now I know a lot more about human behavior and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I still do like I try to look at it objectively. But I hate Aaron's behavior.
A lot of people were on his side. I did get some heat through that episode because it's like, how could you? But it's like people don't realize like there's a rhyme or reason to almost every action that we do. You know, I didn't just spitefully like make out with his arch nemesis for just to spite him. We had multiple conversations, and this is what nobody saw, is because like we always had these private conversations that we were open to seeing other people, but we agreed that this was our strongest relationship on the beach. He kept like reassuring it. So I'm like, okay, this guy is open to seeing other people. So I'm not going to just wait around. What? So you can go make out with other girls in front of me, but I can't say anything. But once I do, one person, it's now my fault. I'm the enemy. I'm a trash bag or whatever they called me.
I saw you and Aaron, and I saw you little bit of an avoidant attachment style. Mm-hmm. Also, though, you're like me, where we are the rare 3 to 4% that have anxious avoidant. Mm-hmm. Because with Aaron, you were being avoidant.
I was.
And then with Thomas, you were being anxious. Look at you. You were sobbing.
Oh, my God.
You have avoidant and anxious attachment style. You have that rare combo. I have that as well.
Oh, my God. It's just an intervention.
No, but let me tell you, it is a tough way to live.
Yeah.
It's hard to date.
It is really hard to date. Even like now, I'm like back in the dating pool. It's like I'm doing the same things that I'm doing on the beach. It's like avoidance on one person and like attachment on
anxiousness.
Anxiousness on the other. It's so bad. But I will say that was my one big thing that I should have done better with Aaron, is that I was avoiding a lot of like the issues.
I don't want you to beat yourself up about it, because I think that whenever that avoidant behavior is happening, and it happens to me, the hardest part about it is the confronting part. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's really hard to expect us to be able to nail on television, mm-hmm. because no matter what, that conversation's probably going to get ugly. Yeah. And like the way that it went was ugly, mm-hmm. because what Aaron did. You were being avoidant of Aaron, yes, but that does not mean you weren't ever spiteful or hateful or doing anything out of spite to him at all. You were doing what you were supposed to be doing, dating someone in paradise. Mm-hmm. You were literally doing what we were there to do. So for him to go and just be louder than mm-hmm. everyone else, louder than you, louder than everyone, and like decide what the narrative was, even online after mm-hmm. it aired.
Do you think it's because like it's a power thing? You know, almost?
I think, he has a loss of control over the situation. Yeah. He feels embarrassed that you were being avoidant of him and that you wanted to make out with Thomas. And so he feels like a loss of control. It's like an ego thing.
Well, what wasn't aired is that like he came up to me and was like, now I'm going to go home because of you. Like you did this to me. It's like, so in that moment, I'm like, all you cared about was just being on the beach instead of going home. You know, and like that's all he cared about.
That's the thing, is that they will die on a hill saying that's not the truth.
No, that is the truth. Because he said it to my face, screaming at me.
Exactly. But they will die on a hill being like, what? No, I'm here to find love. And it's like, shut the fuck up.
I know. Stop lying.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fucking fuck up. Every single person on The Bachelorette, every single one of you men is not here to find love. Most of them. Never mind. I better not.
Give it to us, Demi. Give it to us.
Aaron, I don't think has any idea how scary he can come across, because like my brother terrifies me when he yells at me. And I tell him, oh yeah, I'm scared. You're scaring me. And my brother's so confused by that. He's like, don't say I'm scary. That's so mean. And I'm like, that's the thing. Isn't that crazy? That how ironic it is? Like, if you can just take yourself and like look at it objectively, that's like my big word. But if you can do it, you can see it differently. And they just haven't looked at it that way yet.
And like when he was screaming, remember, I'm like 5'3", barely. No, this man is towering over me. He's a big person.
I bet your adrenaline was going.
Oh my God. I'm like, I did by avoiding the conversation, but now I'm tearing down even more because like I don't even know what to say in this moment. You're literally screaming at me like I'm a dog.
Yes, and it's so scary because we are so little, and because these men are so big, I don't think they have any idea because nobody scares them the way they scare us because they're so big. No one's that much bigger than them. They've never been afraid.
Right. And people will always say like, oh, you claim to be this like strong personality. You speak your mind. But
fight
it's like,
or flight, motherfuckers.
Right. And it's just like, yes, I am. I will say what's on my mind. But like when you are in this situation, it's literally fight or flight mode. I don't know what to do.
Exactly. We don't know what to say. And then we are held for that behavior that happened when I was literally in survival mode and someone was filming it. Like literally survival
on top of that,
mode.
we're literally being filmed.
There's this tension, this fear. Everyone's fucking anxious. And then once somebody confronts you, when Mari confronted me, I went into survival mode. But I had been self-medicating, so I was pretty drunk. So I was pretty good for it. I was fine. But like, I was terrified.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I had no idea what I said. And I was like, guys, like production, I was like, is there anything I did that's going to make me look like a monster on TV? Because I blacked out from that. Like I was so scared. Like I was just like talking.
You know what you did say?
Suck my ass. I know. It's crazy, right?
That was my favorite episode. I rewatch it every time I'm upset.
Every time. I watched it a few times whenever it happened because I wanted to see why she confronted me. I didn't understand still. And then I realized that, oh, she thinks I took her idea of the cake.
Right.
Whenever, no, you think I was back there baking a fucking cake? My drunk ass came around the corner. They said, Demi, here, this is for Kenny. I said, okay.
It's, I get where she was upset with that because if she did truly think that, but I kept reassuring her, like, Demi would not do that. She goes, I told her this idea, blah, blah, blah. It's like, did you forget producers are listening?
Well, when will people like understand that I don't care that much?
Right.
Not in a negative way, but like I care about so many other things.
Right. And you have your own shit going on.
I would never, ever, ever put that much energy into being manipulative like that.
Right.
Like, is there any, like, do you have any feelings about Paradise that you want to talk about? Like anything that was aired a certain way? Like,
I wish it didn't make me look like it made me look very manipulative and like that I went after his enemy on purpose. And like, they didn't show any part of the relationship that me and Thomas had. And they thought it was like, oh, she did this just to spite him. But that wasn't the case at all. And like, even to this day, producers would tell me like, you may have been a little hurt with the breakup with Thomas, but that wasn't like really real. Like it wasn't serious. Like, and I'm just like, why are you deflecting how I felt? I literally came off of that flight, flying home on my birthday, and I refused to go home. I flew to San Diego for a week. And like, I just needed to be around my friends. I was like, so everyone can attest to it because I was a hot mess.
They told me, they were like, Tammy's looking for you. Tammy's asking where you are.
I know. I'm like, where's Demi? Where is she? Because I was just like, I needed my people, you know? And like, yes, I was hurt about that whole situation. It made it worse that I was on my birthday. It made it worse because I really didn't think he would. But then all the producers are telling me like, oh, it wasn't even that big of a deal, like blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, but it is a big of a deal for everyone else except for me.
They make me feel weird about.
Yeah. Like, it's like, that's my feelings. That's how I feel.
Oh my God. Like poor me whenever I was just in love with Kenny and I was just like, guys, like Kenny. And they're over there manipulating him to like, or not manipulating him, manipulating the situation of like, oh yeah, let's bring in Tia. Tia will totally ask Kenny on a date. Demi's gonna lose it, and this is gonna be so fun to watch. And I'm like, guys, can I go talk to Kenny? I wanna like do something with him. I like him. I'm nervous. Eee. And then they're like, we got her.
We got her, guys.
We got her good. And I'm like, so blinded to it. God. But thank God I didn't end up with Kenny.
Thank God I didn't end up with him.
Can you imagine? Poor guy. I would have taken him through the ringer. Hey, I've got an alcohol problem and I'm autistic. Like,
Kenny would have been like,
Kenny would have been like,
face. We're like, what?
I don't want anyone to be able to take it and act like I'm disrespecting Mari.
Right.
Because that's the last thing I'm doing.
Okay.
I actually sent her a message. It was really nice.
Really? You've always been really nice to her throughout the whole process.
I know. I have nothing against her.
Should I stop saying things about people? I need to stop reading Reddit because it really fucks with my mind.
Here's the thing. Like when the Reddit people liked me the most was when I was the most self-aware, not doing anything like productive as far as like for others. When I was just in my in my own world, just not a good person, drinking all the time, not working on mental health things, not working on personal growth, wanting just fame and followers and clout. That's when I was their favorite. And then now that I have become a mature person, not mature, but I've become a person who self-reflects and I know exactly who I am, why I do each behaviors, and I see other people's behaviors and I can see why they do them. So if I know why people are doing behaviors, like there's no need for me to go and shit on them, right? Because I'm like, oh, they've been through like this factor. That's a trauma response. I can see that, right? I can explain it down to the science. So I would feel no need to talk shit about them because that'd be just straight up bullying. The Reddit people have a lack of knowledge about like human behavior and like why people are doing the things that they're doing. Because if they knew, then they would be aware of how big of assholes they would be being talking all of this shit, because they don't realize what they're doing is they're influencing the opinions of our peers, of our parents, and of brands, the fan base. The Redditors they isolate us without realizing it. Nobody fucks with me because nobody wants people on Reddit to talk about them hanging out with me. And I'm like, you fucking pussies. Those Reddit people don't even know what they're talking about.
Right.
They don't know what they're talking about straight up.
What kind of true friend would even put that into consideration? And I know actually a couple, which we'll
they
talk
all
about.
do. They all take it into consideration, even if they don't say they do.
I feel like that's with me too. Like when I first got off Peter's season, I was on great terms with all the girls except for two. Nobody wanted to talk to me. I was literally dealing with all of the bullies by myself, and I had no one to call. Like I only called a few people that actually answered their phone, but no one wanted to publicly, hang out with me or associate themselves with me because I was the quote unquote villain that was last.
And it all comes down to the Reddit, because there's 200,000 people on that forum, and they're talking about a world that in our actual lives only we care about, right? We go on this show and it's like the craziest thing we've ever done. If we go back to our regular lives, nobody in our regular lives cares about any of this shit.
No.
So we care about this shit. We care about it because it's like the coolest thing. And like it's an experience that we only have with each other. And the Reddit community, I'm so sorry. The Reddit community is obsessed.
They honestly take away how great this experience is. And I don't think that's talked about enough because I'm like, should I not even talk? Like people were telling me, oh, she wants to just go on Paradise. This is before we all went to go film. She's just thirsty for Paradise. But then they're supporting other people like, Abigail should go on Paradise. Like, well, but it's like, why are you taking this away from me, even though it's for your entertainment anyways? And they make me feel bad for putting like Bachelor season 24 in my bio. It's like, I did the work too. Why is that not accounted for? But like all the other ones, like Love is Blind, Love Island, they are so proudly to put that in their bio because that's part of their life journey.
They make us feel ashamed of it.
Even producers made me feel ashamed about it. It's like,
what'd they say?
They were just like, all these other girls who left early. I remember them saying this on Peter's season. They can't wait to go home and just put the rose in their bio. Like it's like,
oh, I know they all say shit like that.
I'm just like, yeah. Why is that being taken away?
This one producer that I had would be like, I wonder what random contestant who left week 1 is doing right now. Oh my God, it was Annalise. They said, I wonder what Annalise is doing right now because she went home from Paradise really early. And he was like, probably picking out her kids' names. And like, it was just so messed up and this funny shit. And so they would like get me like that, right? So they'd be just clowning.
Yeah.
And then they'd say something like, they just like throw in a casual line like, grandma's off her meds. Say grandma's off her meds to me, something like that. And I'd be like, that's like funny. That's so fucked up, dude. Like, grandma's off her meds. Like,
I think we have like such a different humor. It's like sarcastic and funny and very harmless. We have no bad intent towards it.
But it's very dark. And it is very dark. There is no line. Like, there's no limit.
People like see that and they're like, they're mean people. They're ill intent. It's like, if you were just like fucking around with your friends and like making these jokes, you'd laugh too, you know? And like, I don't think people realize how close we are with producers when we're filming. So it's like, yes, when I say things that come off really mean, the words are very mean. I understand that, but it was never ill intent of like, I hate this person, like screw them or whatever, you know?
Exactly. And people think they like to surpass intent and value language.
Right.
And I do not, because with autism especially, like that's the whole thing, the social communication. I have my words that I've used are a series of words that I've heard from other people my entire life that are in like a Rolodex in my head.
Right.
And I am just doing my best subconsciously in survival mode to survive and to fit in at all times. Whatever I think is going to help me fit in the most, it's not even a conscious, like a thought process. It's like simultaneous.
Yeah.
So whenever I say something really fucking stupid and really offensive, I only said that to try to fit in.
Right.
So don't embarrass me for it. Pity me for it. Be like, oh, you poor thing. Like, oh, you can't say that. Not, oh my God, you can't say that. Because I'm like, I didn't know better. I don't know the rules. And I'm honestly so scared. I'm just trying to fit in. So I said something stupid and I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
My intent was good. I'm just so desperate to fit in with you people that I said something I like shouldn't have. And I don't understand why we ostracize people for that. Same with insecurities. How dare we tell people like, shame on you for being insecure? They didn't.
Aren't we all insecure a little bit?
Exactly. And insecurities, that's going to make it worse. And insecurities come from like other people and our experiences. So it's not people's fault that they're insecure. It's no one's fault because the person who made them insecure was made insecure by someone else. It's all a cycle. All that we can do is what happens moving forward, right? You know? And I think that I know how people are to you, like online. You've told me.
Even to this day, like I went down a spiral the other day. I shouldn't have done it, but I read these comments on a TikTok of like a podcast that I did. And people were just ripping me apart. But it's so much easier to hop on a bandwagon full of people because, like, you know, power in numbers.
Yes.
And it's like, even if they did support me, they would never openly say it. And that...
Look, I understand.
It sucks.
I understand.
I literally had to stay home the entire day and just cry my eyes out. And then when I finally left the house, I went to go get a snow cone. It made me feel better.
It's bizarre how, like, these... it can... That is so frustrating because you are like, that is not what I meant. I'm sure whatever, I don't know what the video was of, but it's like, that wasn't what you meant. Whatever they were making fun of you about, it's like you were trying to do so good. It's like, it's a rejection. They all rejected your vulnerability or whatever it was, and then they mocked it.
Right.
Like, fucking hell, that is so mean. Like, and nobody talks about it because Tammy's pretty. She's fine. I'm just kidding. That might not be it. Take out the pretty thing.
How dare you?
No. I mean, like, seriously, like, I always say, like, nobody cares about, like, pretty girls, and people get really upset about that. And I'm like,
really?
Yeah, it's a fact, though, because if you look at someone and they're attractive, people just automatically assume that they must be doing good.
I hate that because it's normally the polar opposite.
Literally, the reason that I look so good is because this was the only thing that I thought I valued. Like, that
I look the best.
I was told I valued, was worth value of, like.
I look best when I'm dying inside.
Yes, because I'm having to put the most effort.
I'm like, let's just like slap lipstick on a pig. What's the term? Yeah.
I haven't heard it, but I like it.
It's like you feel so shitty, but like the only thing that you can control is like how you look. So then you do that. So you look your best, even though you are literally crippling, dying inside. I don't normally let people's opinions, you know, add value to my life in any way, shape, or form. Actually, you taught me that from when I came off of Peter's season. But it's just when you see it over and over again, I'm just like.
Do you think it's because it's a misunderstanding of your, like, you're like, come on, I was not trying to say that or do that, or what do you think it is?
I'm so misunderstood, and I don't know why with Bachelor Nation. because they're like, oh, she's strong, like blah, 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 like she can take it. But it's like, I'm human too. You know, these things hurt. But then they go off and say like, oh, she's mean because like she says what she wants. This is on her mind, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, I can't win with you people. Like, I don't know what you guys want from me, you know?
And that's what I'm telling you. When I'm doing my best actually doing the best things, they hate me the most. It's so ironic. It's disgusting. It's like, what a joke. What a fucking joke. I've been working my ass off because you guys made me feel like I was a piece of shit person, right? So I said, okay, I'll do the work. I'll go figure it out. I do the motherfucking work and I come out of here like, yo, I figured it out, guys. I know all of the answers. I understand like why I did things the way I did them. I get it all, blah, blah. And they are like, bitch, you're crazy.
You just can't win with them. I think Bachelor, I don't know if it's other fan bases too, but Bachelor Nation is so toxic. Like,
it's because it's conservative white people. Like, it's
brutal.
the audience.
Well, yeah, that's why they don't like me.
Exactly.
And like, even I'm now talking about like racial issues that I've had with, you know, the franchise and TV in general and the fans. And that was extremely out of my comfort zone. And now people are ripping me apart for saying, oh, that's her thing now. She just always brings that up.
Brings
like
what up? That
I'm pulling the race card. And I'm just like,
there's no pulling the race card. It's facts.
It's literally facts.
It's not, you can't pull the race card. Facts on facts on facts. Even in this franchise, they cannot stand, like we just said, they cannot stand to see somebody doing better than them and that in their minds is below them on the social hierarchy.
That's exactly it. They think that people who look like me are below them.
Yes.
So it's like, how could she succeed if she's below me?
Yes, but they think that you're below them because they haven't healed from the trauma that they received of somebody telling them, I'm better than you. But you get to be better than these people. But I'm better than you. AKA their husbands. And then their husbands who secretly want to fuck us pit their wives against us.
No, that's exactly it.
That literally, their husbands pit their wives against us while their husbands are sliding into our DMs. Not to make it about that.
I know.
I always do. It always comes back down to that.
You're right, though. You've never seen that.
It's an animalistic thing. There's a lot of narcissism. And everyone needs to remember, narcissism is not satanic. This is not like the worst thing ever. It is pain. It is survival. It's our survival modes. So we have to take the judgment off of it to understand it more, to help the world heal.
The world just needs a lot of healing. I know I need healing. Badly.
But it's because it's like narcissism, because my brain is wired to value autonomy at number one. That sounds narcissistic in and of itself. But I'm aware of it. So like I'll argue with someone without realizing I'm arguing because my brain just it makes me have to get like my control of myself back. If somebody's like telling me I'm wrong, I don't have control of myself anymore. Right. So that makes me mad. And I'm like, no, you can't tell me I'm wrong. I have to find a way to prove that I'm right so I can have my sense of self back. Yeah. I can feel safe.
Right. You'd be a great lawyer, Dems.
I don't know. Me.
No, you would be.
Thank you. I know nothing about the law.
But you can argue it enough.
I can find a way.
Yeah, you would find a way.
But it makes me look very narcissistic at times. So unrecognized, think about it. It's a rigidity and demand avoidance. It never goes away. The demand avoidance.
Never?
It's a thing that I've had ever since I was a kid. So whenever I was a kid, I didn't know when I had to go to the bathroom, so I would hold it for a really long time, and I would avoid holding it. I would avoid going, so I'd hold it for so long where I would get in the bathtub, and then I would accidentally poop in the bathtub.
Oh my God.
And they were like, Demi, why'd you do that? And I was like, I don't know. And it was because I avoided the internal demand of having to shit for so long that it just came out of the bathtub. Like, it was so weird. So that's how my brain is wired, that it values it values autonomy over anything else. So I think a lot of men have it because they would never think that it was a problem, because with women that have it and it's undiagnosed, we are out here in the world and nobody's listening to us and we're ostracized and we're alone and sad. Whereas the men, women are still there for them anyway and want to take care of them and nurture them back to health. But nobody gives a fuck about me. And everyone's like, no one feels sorry for me, but they feel sorry for a broken man.
Isn't that insane?
It's truly heartbreaking. Truly. I know. But it's okay because that's why we're women like us. We can encourage other women to focus more on women. Nurturing women and men too. But like men so damn nurtured that they think they deserve it. They expect it.
You know what they say? It's like when a man is sick, it's like, oh my God, like they're a baby. But when women are sick, we still raise the children, go to work. You know.
See, I was really confused by that because I've dated, the past few men I've dated, they say, oh yeah, when I'm sick, I'm such a baby. And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, I've never had to, whenever I'm sick, I never was like taken care of. Like, it was like I dealt with it. So I expected them to absolutely just deal with it. not going to take care of you? What does that even mean?
I don't know. It's funny because isn't that wild how you think men actually have more power when it comes to like those instances, you know, physically sick and then like them being weak. It's like they can be babies and it's okay. But women are actually stronger when they're weaker. And
I'm not here to say, I'm not trying to like criticize you and run away. I'm trying to say, hey, stop criticizing me. Stop judging me and my friends because your husband wants to fuck all of us. So come join us in the strength of women and power against manipulative behavior like that, of pitting us against each other. Don't let them take our power away.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, your husband's a creep.
Yeah, and the husband is just spoiled as fuck. I don't know what their deal is.
There's too much power with men.
I know.
I think that's why I try to fight so hard to like take the power back. You know me, my personality is so masculine for a female. So I like dedicated my whole life to, you know, making more money than men. I always made more money than my ex-boyfriend and like being the best producer that I can in my company because a man is always taking that position. And I think it's exhausting, you know?
Yeah. Exhausting.
You're smashing the glass ceiling though.
I know, and I'm trying. That's what makes me drive to do more because I want women, and especially women of color, to know that they can break glass ceilings left and right if they just believe in themselves to do it.
Let me just tell you right now that I fucking shattered a glass ceiling in the mental health department.
100%.
My whole fucking life, I was told there's nothing wrong with you. It's life. Those are excuses. Get over it. Like, you suck it up. You're making this up. You, like, stop doing that, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And my determined ass, I said, okay, y'all aren't going to believe me. I'm going to get drunk and self-medicate, I guess, for a while. And then I came out and I said, hey, guys, I know exactly what the fuck is going on here. And I do have an excuse. And it's not an excuse, but it's a reason behind all of this. And it's like they said they put a glass ceiling on, like, putting me in a box of suffrage. Literally, that's where you belong. This is how it is. And you have to conform or you will never be happy. And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to go on The Bachelor real quick. Let me get it. I need to find a way to become completely independent.
Yeah.
And my credit's shit, so I need to get my credit score up. We're going to go on The Bachelor.
Demi went on The Bachelor to fix her credit score.
Literally. I said, that looks like a way quicker way to get it fixed than working at Pottery Barn.
Oh, I love Pottery Barn.
Hang tight, everybody. Me and Tammy are going to be back with a little pop quiz. We're going to play Hot or Not. It was Smash or Pass, but then we decided that was creepy because
yeah, it's a little creepy.
They're not asking if we want to fuck them. So why would we be telling them that, you know?
That's a good point.
So maybe take a little note there, Stevie Bud.
She went there.
So we're going to call it hot or not.
Okay, hot or not.
Because that's really essentially what it is.
Yeah, give it to me.
Basically if we're attracted to them or not. I'm gonna make you uncomfortable probably. Let's start it off with Brendan and Ivan. Brendan Murray. I don't know how to say his last name.
I think it's Marias. I don't know. Sorry, Brendan, in advance. Brendan is so fine. It's actually uncanny. I looked at him on the beach. I go, you're just so pretty. I fucking hate you. He goes, okay.
I only went for him. I only went for him.
Oh, and then everything just blew up. Unfortunate, but he's very good looking. I'm like, sometimes I think I'm like, is he good looking or does he just have blue eyes?
Nah, he's really good.
No, he is really good looking. Fuck.
You know what Brendan said to me?
What did he say?
He said we were in the in the pool, me, him, Natasha, and Kenny, and Brendan was like, Demi, I had you all wrong. I assumed like you were someone else, like you were something else. He was like, you're the funniest person I've ever met. He said, you're one of the funniest people I've ever met. And I said, you see me.
I feel seen. Thank you.
Literally, I feel seen.
All right, ladies, who is the hot and who is the not?
Brendan would be hot. Ivan would be not, just because he's one of my good friends. I can't see him past the brother. But he's also very attractive.
I agree with you. I know Brendan has bad behavior in the past, but
the man is fine. He is fine as fuck.
I forgive Brendan because I think that Brendan has the ability to recognize where he went wrong. Like even without him saying, I haven't talked to him, without him saying it though, because whenever I was on the beach with Brendan, I was hammered and I still remember how articulate he was. Like or how good he was at articulating himself and explaining exactly why I had no business saying anything about him and Piper being there together, pre-planning something. They edited it out, but it was hilarious as fuck. And so I was like, damn, whenever I was arguing with him, everything he called me out for, I was drunk, but so I couldn't argue back to my full ability. But I'm probably glad I didn't because I don't think I had any argument to stand on, except for now what I know looking back, seeing the one thing that I am against, which is the at Natasha's expense.
Right.
The whole Natasha's expense.
That's extremely where he went wrong, was even coming for her negatively at all. I
know.
It was so unnecessary.
I wonder.
Hot or not? Give me the next one.
James or Aaron?
Of course. I'm going to go hot James, not Aaron. Aaron, only because both of them are very good looking, but I don't like Aaron's personality. So it's very ugly to me.
They're both not to me.
I love James. I'm actually really upset that I lost James as a friend because of Aaron, because James was very sweet and he was only kind-hearted. And that's why I had his back with the whole Victoria P thing, you know?
Oh, yeah. I feel completely indifferent.
Really?
Yeah,
No, it doesn't do it for you?
No, and the last time I talked to them, it was wildly awkward.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think they're a beautiful couple.
Yeah, I said, I haven't drank in so long, guys. And Aaron said, I've been drinking more than ever. That's just an awkward, shit, I'm sorry. I don't even know what to do. Okay.
You're all right, I'm going to go.
I probably tried to whatever. I need to block out that memory because God, I can't. I can't with how awkward I can make things. And especially when I have the earplugs in because I can't hear what they're saying. But I need the earplugs in because then I can hear too many of the conversations.
Oh, yeah. And then I start overthinking everything.
Exactly. And that is why the earplugs saved my life. I stop overthinking because I can't hear as much. So I can't hear if I maybe heard someone say Demi,
Right.
And I'm like,
oh my gosh,
they're making fun of me.
Maybe I should order a pair of earplugs, but then I won't be able to hear anything. I'm hard at hearing as it is.
They have them, they don't take out all the decibels. It's negative 18 hertz something. I don't know. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Yeah, give me the next, guys.
Peter, Pilot Peter, or Clayton.
Oh my God, this is an easy one. Hot Peter, Clayton not. I'm sorry, Clayton just doesn't do it for me. I clearly was attracted to Peter. I went on a season.
They're both not for me. I couldn't even dare. So far, the only one I'm touching with a 10-foot pole is Brendan. That's how it was on the beach for me anyway. That's how it was for me anyway. Until Kenny caught my eye. All right. So what about Ben Higgins and Juan Pablo? See, now you would think this could be an easy one.
Oh, that is hard. They're both very attractive. I would say hot. You go, what the hell?
Excuse me.
What?
Excuse me. I'm clutching my pearls.
I think hot Ben Higgins, not Juan Pablo. I just like darker features in general. So.
Oh my God. The last person out of all of these that I would want to be with is Ben Higgins. God. Ben Higgins. Not hot. I'm sorry. I just like.
Does Juan Pablo do it for you?
No. No, but I would rather say Juan Pablo is hot than let Ben think he's hot.
Wasn't Juan Pablo the one who had sex in the ocean?
Was he?
Juan Pablo is just, I think he all around.
They had to force girls to stay on his season.
He made bad decisions. He
made very bad decisions.
I don't think like this. It's not really that fair to hold any of these leads accountable for their behavior whenever they're literally so forced into a crazy environment, like of 24/7. They have people surrounding them, telling them what to do, like crazy sleep hours. It's all manipulation. I mean,
I don't think people realize how the importance of sleep helps you have a clear mind.
And they don't let you have it so they can make you go
I was
crazy.
struggling in paradise. Did you remember how mean I was that day?
I mean, Tammy, that day, we got 1 hour of sleep after every rose ceremony.
Oh my gosh. I'm just
1 hour.
I was so mean to you. I feel so bad. But I was so mean to everyone. I'm like, I need my sleep right now. And like, you know when you're so tired and you haven't slept in 2 days and then you lay there and you're just spinning and I'm like, I can't even fall asleep right now.
Yes. And then I remember once I would finally start to fall asleep, 8 o'clock. Good morning. Everyone has to get up now and go to breakfast.
It's the ankle wiggle. It's like, hey, time to wake up. I go, stop fucking touching me. I'm going to burn this whole treehouse.
That was the thing is like, I would tell them, I'd be like, hey, like I'll get up, but like I'm going to say something very violent to you. Just ignore it. I'm not going to do shit, but I'm going to get up too.
Yeah.
But like, in order for me to have a little bit of a release, which now I understand it's because it's my demand avoidance. They were telling me to wake up and my body was saying no.
Yeah.
So I was like, if you just let me have that moment of saying, fuck no, fuck you, I'll get up and I'll be like, I saw we.
I know.
I saw we.
The handlers really like, I
am an angel to the handlers.
They are the best people in the world.
I'm never rude to them.
No.
Everyone else is. I would say the only thing that I've done that's even remotely rude was like, panic, but that's not rude. I'm in a panic attack. I'm like, help me, please, please, please. Okay, let's go to the next one.
There's more? Okay, give it to me.
There's only 2 more.
Okay, give it to me.
Well, like 2 more sets. Connor Brennan and Nick Viall.
Connor who?
Connor from Brennan. Connor Brennan from our season. I mean, our Paradise.
Oh, Connor the cat.
Yes.
Oh.
And Nick.
Nick Viall. I would say hot Nick Viall, not Connor Brennan, just because I love Connor like a brother.
Yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and say this only because I want to make his ego fucking livid. I want to watch him squirm. Okay. I'm going to say hot is Connor, not is Nick. Nick is not hot.
That's going to hurt him.
It's going to fuck him up. All right, and then the last one is Tyler Cameron and Greg Grippo.
I know your answer to this one.
What?
You're going to say hot Greg, not Tyler.
No.
Really?
Both hot.
They both are very hot.
Here's the thing. Greg Grippo gets less and less hot the longer he has a girlfriend.
Honestly, I don't think Greg does it for me. I don't get the appeal.
Have you ever met Greg?
I've never met Greg.
That's why. I've met Greg.
Okay, well, I haven't. I think I've never met Tyler either, but I think Tyler's very, very hot. I don't think Greg does it for me.
Tyler's so hot.
I bet.
I was in an adrenaline rush the entire time I was talking to him. Right now I'm thinking about it and I have butterflies.
Damn. It must be nice.
He's just hot. He's just one of those people who's like intimidating. And I'm like, wow.
I'm trying to get like that. Trying to get on that level.
Like with someone
so hot that I'm intimidated.
It's only fun. Like I only want it for like a week, and then I'm like, okay, can you please get out of my house and let me go back to being a weirdo? I actually decided
I'm being a weirdo.
I decided I'm asexual. Get out.
Of this list of everyone, who is the ultimate hot and who is the ultimate not?
Ooh. Go ahead, Dems.
The ultimate hot. For me, it would be like Brendan.
I would say Brendan too, and I hate giving them that
I
gratification. But man, that man is fine.
I'm talking about the looks. Yeah, Brendan. He
looks only. This is strictly looks.
This was Brendan before he said bad things about Natasha.
100%, yeah.
Like, because he's pretty funny too, but like that was fucked up. And I know that he would say some shit like that about me. Mm-hmm. So that is the part that makes him not hot. So that's a key factor of it. But if you take that factor away, if you take away the chance that any of these people are complete douchebags and you look at just their meat suits, it's okay. Like for me, I know why people don't like me. So I'm okay with it because I can't control it.
I don't know why people don't like me. I mean, am I not self-aware? I understand, like, I'm very loud, opinionated, but, like, again, no ill intent. I don't get why people don't like me. I think they don't like me because it's, like,
It's because you can't...
Group effort.
It's because you can't not say something.
I've withheld a lot of information.
I know, but there's still, like, there's times where you still say something, and so I do it all the time. But... I think I'm entertained by it as well. Like, it's not like I'm doing anything else. So if like I'm having a little internet war one day, like I'm probably having a blast. But I'm also like having fight or flight the whole time. But yeah, so if you just engaging with them, I don't know what it does. I don't know the psychology behind what goes on with them. But then they just turn into like they take away all of your rights.
No, they do.
They take away all of your rights as a human. It's crazy. They don't let you, no freedom of like speech. Like, because if you try to say something, you are explaining yourself or you're like saying too much. You're over explaining. You're doing like, you're doing all that wrong.
And then when I tell them, I'm like, why are you on you went to my page and gave your opinion. And they were like, is the internet like public? Like I can have my own opinion. I go, okay, do it somewhere else. Be miserable somewhere else.
And if you don't say something, then they're like, why aren't you using your platform? Why aren't you speaking up for or standing up for yourself? Yeah. Why aren't you explaining what happened? Why aren't you explaining?
It's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, they take away all of your rights. They say, don't talk. They say, we want you to be dead, because that's literally what they DM. Mm-hmm. They DM that you die. I
can't even look at my DMs. It's literally always a dark hole, so I don't do it.
Yeah, and it always is like they never stop.
No, they never stop. They're so mean. And they have the audacity to say that I'm mean. Mean where? What have I done?
I know. It's a misunderstanding, like you said. A lot of people have thought that I've mean. They think that you're mean because you've been in survival mode and have responded the best way you fucking could, and they're judging that, and that's fucked up. It's out of our control at that point.
Right.
Literally out of our control how we react when our adrenaline's running through our bodies. We don't have control. Our brain takes over. And I wish people would understand that, because we don't want to have done some of the stuff we've done. And, we get held accountable for it, which is great. But it's like, I believe in being held accountable, but I also believe in hearing someone out, like hearing me out so you can understand me. So that way, like, if I'm going to get a punishment, it's a just punishment.
Right.
But it's not just if that's not my intent.
Right. I've like, this is why I'm doing like so many podcasts and interviews to try to explain myself, and I still get literally ripped apart.
Well, I think you should surround yourself with people that you don't have to explain yourself to.
Right. And I think that's like, I'm more hating the social media part and just being more present in reality, because like that's where I'm at peace.
Yeah.
It's
true. Whenever I'm on social media, I feel a lot better. Like
100%.
More in the moment, more present. And then that's kind of like a doom cloud waiting for me.
I hate it.
I know, me too.
I'm like trying to like, even I'm not posting as much on Instagram as I used to. TikTok has been like
follow Tammy on Instagram.
Follow me on Instagram though.
Yeah, I was like, do you want to plug?
I mean, it's just so unhealthy, but I'm trying to find the balance of it, because I take it for what it is. It's a platform where people show the highlights of their life, and give them an insight of their life a little bit with stories and everything. But I don't know. It hurts because it does more damage than good.
Exactly. And it's unproductive. That's because it's doing more damage than good. We all are out here. Everyone's in attack mode. Everyone's doing their best. And if we all know we're in attack mode, maybe you could try to use that to understand people better. Not you, but like the world.
I wish people would just be more open to understanding. You don't have to understand me. Just be open
and believe this. No human being wakes up in the morning and is like, bad to the bone. You know what I mean? Like no one's bad. No one wants to wake up and just create chaos, unless they've got some trauma and whatnot. But that's trauma. It's still not their fault. So be open to understanding and forgiving others. And if people are taking accountability, we can hear them out.
The world just needs healing.
Yes, healing. All right. Tammy, thank you so much. What is your Instagram and stuff? Because although I know you just said that you take a break from it, you post very good content. And I love watching your vlogs and stuff.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. So I feel like my fan base, I really try to push being a strong, hardworking woman who's breaking glass ceilings. That's what I really want to resonate with my fans. So that's why I do post, and show bits of my life and my work and what I'm doing. So even though it does cause me a little bit of depression with being on social media, because I think that's just going to be a given, I like to use my platform for the better and use it for what I can. So my Instagram is at Tammy Kay Ly, K with the K-A-Y. It's my username for all platforms.
Okay, it's TammyKayly.
Yes.
On Instagram, TikTok, and all platforms.
And yes, I'm starting up my YouTube, so I have a couple of videos there.
I love that.
And I'm really excited for them, so I'd love your support. Thank you.
Yes, and Tammy does have amazing content, and you do... Tammy you kill it on that narrative of the strong woman. It inspires me. I see Tammy just kicking ass out there. 6 jobs. You never see a boy in sight. You never see a man taking care of her. You see her, and it's empowering.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm working on the boy aspect, but it's really hard because I think I'm so used to being this independent person.
Was that rude of me to say?
No, not at all.
Boy inside.
Not a boy inside. She's telling me that I have no men in my life. Thank you so much for hitting that wound.
I'm so sorry. I don't either.
It's just, I don't know. I'm trying to navigate my dating life as an adult, being so independent for so long, but I'll figure it out, hopefully. Or I'll find someone who's going to put up with it.
Someone can show me that dating is worth doing anymore.
Right. Why is it so exhausting? I hate this.
I hate it. All right. Tammy.
All right. Thanks, Dems. I love you.
I love you so much. Let's go get a snow cone.
Oh, please. I would love that.
Me too. Thanks for listening to this week's DemiGoddess. You better give us a 5-star rating and review if you know what's good for you. Just kidding, but please be sure to tell your friends. You can follow me at Demi_not_Lovato on Instagram and at Demlia on TikTok. That's at DEMLIA on TikTok. DemiGoddess is available on all podcast platforms, or you can watch the full episode on our YouTube channel.